Hey, this is Ken Casey from the Dropkick Murphys, and I love the Grandstanders! Take it away, kid!
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and I'm joined by my usual cohorts, the Professor, Russ Stevens, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and he's the barber to the stars, Hollywood Pete McGilvery. Well, we have another great show for you tonight, so boys, let's get started. Of course, we have to thank our wonderful sponsor, Dante's Pizzeria, 415 Harvard Street. Make sure to come in, say hello to my great friend David, and, of course, his father, David. Again, 415 Harvard Street, Dante's Pizzeria. Well, boys, it was the NFL playoffs last weekend. Did you guys enjoy watching the games?
For sure.
Didn't seem like
I
playoff
like the college
caliber.
game a little
Yeah,
more.
right, the college game. We'll talk about that.
Always.
But if this was supposed to be the NFL showcase, right, and this is a huge weekend, some really bad play. And when you watch that Titans,
Yeah.
I mean, the Bills,
The Bills and
Jaguars
Jags.
game.
Used to be
Oh,
the-
my
Used
God.
to be the best football weekend there was.
Yeah, and who knew Blake Bortles was that bad?
I didn't.
All the people
Bortles did.
I mean, he wasn't even making middle school passes.
That was awful.
That was embarrassing, right?
Yeah.
And these are the guys, these are the top teams in the NFL. And then, of course, Joe's wish, we end up with the Titans. And is anyone afraid?
No.
No, but that Mariota's a good little guy, good little player.
Good little guy. Yeah, right? He's just a nice little player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's...
I don't think Mariota's ready for prime time
No.
yet. He
No.
will be a good player, but he's too many interceptions. He can run.
The only thing that makes me nervous is how easy this seems, right? Like it seems
Yeah.
like what you do is you play zone defense. You keep Mariota from scrambling you to death. You
Yeah.
stop Henry,
Yeah.
which we've always been able to stop the lead running back
Always,
of the
yeah.
team in this whole run, and you make Mariota beat you matriculating the ball down the field, passing to guys, and I just don't think there's any chance he can do that.
No, great point. They don't have a great tight end. They don't have a
No.
great wide receiver
Henry's
that you
the
have to
second string
isolate
guy.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they can't stop a tight end.
Right.
Yeah.
You can have a guy watchdogging Mariota as far as the run goes.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, you just don't you don't want to play man to man and turn your back to Mariota. Or, you know that
Yeah.
you've talked about this for years. You play zone, you keep everything in front of you. You don't turn your back to the quarterback or the rusher, and you make them drive 80 yards every time through the air.
But
Good luck.
let's remember one thing though. They beat Kansas City, who I was afraid of. I don't know. You guys weren't as afraid of them as I was.
Oh, I
In
was.
Kansas City,
Right. Yeah.
that's real.
But they played one half of football.
Yeah, I
Pete.
mean, look, the
You know?
only
well, the guy got hurt.
Yeah. Right. Kelsey getting
but
hurt was huge.
How Andy Reid with a 21-3 lead after watching the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
You have a 21-3 lead, and you've got the second leading rusher in the AFC.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
the
Right?
leading.
The
rusher.
leading rusher. And you hand the
The
ball to
reason
him
you're
4
there.
times in the second half. You hand the ball to your leading rusher with a 17-point lead, 18-point lead.
Right. And you're going against Mike Mularkey, maybe one of the worst coaches in football, trying to make mistakes
Right.
to help you out.
Right. All you
Kevin
need
Costner.
to do
Right,
is
exactly.
score 3 or 6 points to win that game. Run the football.
Yeah, what is it? I mean, do they go away from the game plan? I mean, you got to think that they understand. Andy Reid has to understand. He's been in the league
And
forever.
he's played the Patriots a number of times over the years, just like Milwaukee has when he was with Buffalo. So he's got both have a good familiarity with the Patriots.
And the Titans weren't really trying to win. I mean, they
No.
won with crazy plays and.
No, because at halftime you're like, the Titans really suck.
Oh, they-
Oh, they
this
were
is
awful. They were
embarrassing.
dreadful.
Yeah.
Tony
My-
Romo must have been up in the booth going, "I can do
Oh,
this
they
still."
were- so my,
Yeah.
I mean, Pete, my answer to your question is, you know, it felt like Kansas City just blew that game. Like, didn't do anything to win that game. and the Titans took advantage of that opportunity. But does anybody believe that Belichick's going to make the same strategic mistakes that Andy
No,
Reid
no,
did?
no.
A chance.
Right.
Well, we talked about a couple weeks ago what Bill Belichick versus Mike Tomlin. How many points was that worth for Bill Belichick and the Patriots? And we said 7 points, and it ended up being 7 points. I ask you boys, how much is Bill Belichick versus Mike Mularkey worth? 10? 14 points?
It's just so hard because he's not a game plan. So
It's the
7 right off the bat, and then add to it.
Right.
It's the defensive coach that's pretty good. The guy that got the
LeBeau from
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Although LeBeau is the master of the defensive
The zone
scheme that
defense.
Brady's been killing for
The
years.
zone. He won't be that stupid to play zone.
Yeah, because
He always did with
right, because he was
Pittsburgh.
with the Steelers, right? During all those.
Yeah, but I mean, how many times are you gonna before you get realized?
Well, what's interesting
That's
is if
why they fired him.
What's interesting if they don't play zone, you've got Logan Ryan as their lead quarterback, and we all like
He
Logan
didn't
Ryan,
practice
right?
the other day.
We all like Logan Ryan.
Yeah,
like
he's
him.
a solid
I like
player.
him.
Yeah.
Right? But it'd be interesting to see if Logan Ryan's a key guy to holding the like they were saying that Ryan was going to cover Gronk. That's a hell of a
Yeah.
matchup.
Oh, that is a
Yeah,
mismatch.
But Tom Brady's played against Logan Ryan quite a bit.
A lot.
Yeah.
In practice, yeah.
And if he's their best guy, you know.
Yeah, in trouble. You know, it's so weird to say this because we are in a playoff game. It's do or die. But would the Patriots kind of sit some guys who may still be
No.
hobbled? Will you not
No.
see the Branches,
Never.
the Van
Never.
Noys, and the James White's dress?
No,
I have a sense that you may do that. May
He's
see
not,
that.
He's not sitting anybody.
You really
no,
think so?
no, especially
Yeah.
someone like
That is
Branch.
literally-
against
that is
a
not
big
in
bat.
his
I
nature.
think he's going to hit the accelerator and
I totally
not
agree.
take his foot off the whole
Yeah.
game.
All right, so you think everybody's playing this week?
Yep.
He has a
And playing
history
hard.
of running it up on
Yeah,
Tennessee,
he may take.
too.
I mean, he may give if
Right.
they're up by 28 points, he'll give Gronk the fourth quarter off. But they're not. He's going for. He doesn't believe in easy games.
Okay,
He
all
doesn't
right.
believe in him. Has he ever done anything to suggest that when he's tanked a game to lose it?
No, but I think he's kept out a lot of guys that extra week to get them healthy.
Yeah.
For the playoffs, and now we're in the playoffs.
Right, but you see a lot of guys who didn't practice this week that we thought were going to practice.
No,
The
one
Allen
guy,
Branch-
Mitchell.
No, the Branches of the world,
Branches
the Van
practiced.
Noys.
The hurt guys.
Branches,
Yeah,
no,
they're
all
the
they've all
James
practiced.
White?
No, they've all practiced.
Practicing.
All of
Okay,
them.
all right. Well, we're going to
Not
see.
Mitchell.
Mitchell's the only one who hasn't practiced this week.
I
And
think you're gonna
Gillisley.
Gills.
I think a lot of times too, what Belichick does when he seems to be running up the score, he wants to see the guys execute for the next game.
Yeah.
You know
He
who's
wants to get
definitely not
plays
going to
in.
play this
Who's that?
weekend? Jimmy G.
Out of the playoffs.
If you talk about Jimmy G and you see the bad quarterback play that we saw this
Here-
weekend, guys, you know
You
that
set him
Jimmy
off
G's
last
going
week,
to
and
end
I set him
up.
off this
Jimmy
week.
G's going to end up in the playoffs next year, and
How
because
many-
let me
I thought
mention
you'd wait for
Hollywood
7
Pete.
minutes.
Hollywood Pete. Yes, as you make fun of me constantly, he makes.
Let me
all
ask you the
the
question.
throws,
Let me ask you the
right?
question.
Doesn't he?
Let me ask you the question.
that?
If Jimmy G was quarterbacking the Titans this weekend, would you be worried?
Absolutely.
Oh, he'd be terrified.
If Jimmy G was the quarterback of the Buffalo,
He might be rooting for
Wait,
Tennessee.
if Jimmy G, Joe, was the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills this weekend, do they beat the Jaguars?
Yes.
See, do you agree?
He texted me the other night. He said, "Geez, the Bruins look good." I said, "Even without Jimmy G."
He won't stop.
Silence.
He won't stop. I'm not excited about the defense because the defense generally sucks, but we happen to be in a down year for the NFL offensively, so the defense can kind of hold their own, would you say? Mm-hmm. And possibly win a Super Bowl. And this is far from a Super Bowl caliber defense. But the one guy I am so excited about watching right now this weekend is James Harrison. I just think that he is.
It's a great story.
TV.
It's a great story.
But I just think I think he's going to be the story of these playoffs.
Oh no.
You
I think he's
watch,
gonna make a big
absolutely.
play. I think he's going to make a
Man.
big
Yeah,
play.
right.
Yeah.
I think we're going to leave these games and go James Harrison. I'm telling you,
I'd love to see him have a great game against Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
that would be amazing.
That'd be fun.
but he's a perfect fit for a team that's need. He's a perfect
I hope so.
fit.
I mean, I think he's going to play 15,
He does fill a need.
15, 20 plays.
No,
30
he played
plays.
like 40 plays
Did he?
against
Yeah.
the Jets.
I don't
Yeah.
think he played 40. Did he?
28.
I think he ended up with a
Yeah,
lot
but
of plays.
remember Van Noy's back.
Right, but Van Noy's, they play different positions. Van
No,
Noy's,
I understand, but there's just another. But you may be right. He may play 30, he may play 40. We'll see. I
Well,
think he's
a
going to
guy
make a
you
play.
want- He's a guy you want to
Yeah.
play well with this quarterback, especially.
but don't you think he's one of the most interesting
He's a very
subplots
interesting
of this
story.
game?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
On defense, because there's not that many great stories.
Hey,
on
we're
defense.
all agreeing with you.
Yeah, it pains us.
But
My-
the one thing
my
is with
body
Mariota,
hurts.
he's not the kind of guy that stays at home and minds his gap.
No, he has to move.
So Mariota might want to take advantage of that if he's in there.
But Mariota can't throw really
No.
past 12 yards.
Yeah, but
I mean, he has no
Mariota
arm.
runs on him. He fakes Harrison left. Harrison leaves his lane, and there he goes.
You think they'll have a spy on Mariota? I would assume they will, right?
No, they don't have anyone talented enough to do that.
Fast enough.
No,
yeah.
right, fast.
That guy Flowers is fast enough.
It could
Yeah.
be.
Yeah,
He's
right.
sick.
I think
He
he'll
didn't,
have
a
he didn't
linebacker.
practice.
Yeah.
He's sick.
Oh, is that right?
Was that what?
Trey Flowers?
No,
the other
Marquise
one.
Flowers.
Oh.
The
The
linebacker.
bad Flowers.
All right, so we got to talk about the elephant in the room. We have
The
to talk
wilting
about
flower.
We
the.
already
G?
did.
We have no. He's the llama. In the room. We have to talk about the ESPN article. Okay, we can't ignore it. You know, obviously we love the Patriots, but from my spin, and I want to get you guys' spin. All the stuff in the article about the locker room stuff, that whether that's true or not, that happens in every locker room. That really wasn't any interest to me.
Wait, what part of the locker? I didn't-
You know the whole stuff, the Patriot of the Week stuff, and him
Oh, yeah,
complaining
yeah.
about
Parking
that.
space and all that.
Yeah, who cares? Okay,
Yeah.
that's just general gossip and complaint. But what the question is concerns the Jimmy G deal. Okay,
It all comes
really,
back to-
seriously. Do you believe? And Bob Kraft said he did not personally tell Bill to trade Jimmy G. Do you believe that Bob Kraft played a role in the trading of Jimmy G, whatever role that was?
To quote Bill Belichick, absolutely.
Yeah, of course. I think so. Yeah, I think he played some role. If he himself didn't talk to Belichick, he sent in his son, his grandson,
Right, yeah,
his
exactly.
brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Like, there's plausible deniability. Kraft said specifically, I have not sat down with Bill to talk. I didn't sit down with Bill to talk about Jimmy G.
Right.
And I
He
haven't
didn't
sat
have to
down.
say
Sure somebody did.
Yeah, right.
There's a lot of guys named Kraft running around in that building.
Look. Tom Brady makes Bob Kraft a lot of money just by being there.
Yeah.
You know, and he appreciates that. He's a businessman, and I know he's all about winning. But you know, Jimmy G is no Tom Brady, and I'm not going to say it again.
Right. But wait, did Kraft owe Tom Brady? Because look, Tom Brady's been underpaid. Tom Brady has been the good soldier, the good employee, right?
He wasn't going to take another hit.
He's his next door neighbor, practically.
Right. So did he call in a chip to get Jimmy G out of here?
No, what he said was, he didn't say trade Jimmy G. He said Tom is the one that's staying.
Yeah.
And so he's got plausible
Yeah,
deniability.
I think he
my
said.
team.
I think he said, I want Tom Brady to finish his career as a Patriot. Or if Tom leaves, it's because he walks away. Right?
Yeah, he's said that a number of times over the years, Russ.
Let's
Russ is
look
right.
at it for what it is, though. If you keep Jimmy G, you got to pay him.
Right.
You're going to pay him more than Tom Brady, who may just win a Super Bowl. You're going to pay him more than Tom Brady to not play.
No, it would have had to be a deal that
They got to sign other guys too, Scott.
Kraft had to go to Tom Brady, billionaire to potential billionaire, and tell him, you know, Tommy, you're going to join our club come 2019. We're going to make lots of money together,
Yeah.
and then we're going to move on and whatever. That's had to be the
thing
conversation.
could have been precipitated by, and I haven't read this, but it could have been precipitated by, remember, Brady's contract's up, right? So what's it going to take? Someone goes to Brady and says, what's it going to take? And Brady says, you know, it's going to take X, Y, and Z.
Because I'm feeling a little different about
Right,
it
I'm
now.
feeling a little bit different about it. So you're not, if you're thinking about franchising Jimmy at 23, my numbers start with 23.
Yeah,
and you're going
right,
to add $5 million to it,
Right,
So
exactly.
now, you're paying $50 million for two quarterbacks next year. Because I'm not giving you a discount if you're franchising Jimmy G.
Yeah, why would I give you a discount so you can pay him?
Not a million years.
Who would do
Well,
that except for you?
But I have a
Wait a
problem-
minute. 31 other teams in the league might say, well, you got this TB12 thing going on in here. You're subverting the salary cap by giving this guy a business in Patriot
Well,
Place.
they all-
You've
they
got
all
it,
look
you've got it in
those
the
games,
locker
yeah.
room. You're doing videos and everything for him in the locker room. You're using the NFL. You're paying him.
But they
above
all
and beyond
play
the-
those games,
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah,
They're
but
all
Tom
doing
Brady
those
always
games.
took Peyton didn't take the cut.
No,
He
right?
said, give me the money.
No,
Yeah.
and if I'm Brady, it's a very natural thing to say, you franchise Jimmy, then I'm going to get paid that plus $5 million.
But I'm worried about the timing. Doesn't the timing bother you?
But it might be the same
But it-
thing,
but
Scott,
it's
as
the
what
same
happened
age,
in Denver
so-
and Baltimore
Don
and
Yee says-
Indianapolis.
It's a huge
Don
deal.
Yee
Right,
turns
yeah, but on
around.
the timing, these conversations should have happened before the season started.
As I've said from the beginning, the one thing I can't figure out was why then.
Right.
Why then and not the beginning of last year? when
Yeah.
Yeah,
his
it came
value
out of
was
nowhere.
higher,
You're right.
I honestly don't think that anyone thought that Brady would perform at
And
the
that
level
could be the
that
answer.
the level
Right.
that he's played at with not all the parts. Let's face it,
Yeah.
Edelman alone.
Right.
You know,
So
That could be the answer to that
So how about
question.
the part of the article where they're saying they're evaluating him and he's playing like a 40-year-old quarterback? That's right. That's who's that coming
The
from?
first part of the year, he was playing like a 30-year-old quarterback. Now he's playing like a 40-year-old quarterback the last half of the year.
I know, but still, they're 13-3.
Yeah, but
I find that
who else is going to play as well as he did with that team? I mean, you get guys that are plugging in. Cook's been there since the beginning.
but
Gronk's been there since the beginning. But there's no time to throw down the field to Cooks.
Yeah.
And Gronk has had a
Yeah.
great year, an all-pro year. But
Who
still,
said it? It's a great question. There could be a negotiating ploy too. Like, there's so many forces that
It's
are at play at this
unbelievable.
thing, right? Like, because they're going to have to start negotiating with Brady, right? So now they don't want to pay him like a 20-year-old quarterback. They're going to want to sign him as a 40-year-old quarterback who's got 3 years left,
Yeah, they're not going to offer
And
a
he would be
5-year deal.
realistic to that,
right?
I think.
But get a little dig in there. We think he's 40. And by the way, don't put it past Belichick to keep Brady on his toes. I traded Jimmy G. Now I got to get a cattle prod back under him. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
right,
know
right.
Brian Hoyer's not
It
taking
is,
Jimmy.
it is a little strange that the 6 games since Jimmy G's been gone, Tom's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Again, I would attribute that those division games are just weird football games. And they stacked all of them together. 5 of the last 6 games of the year were division games. Those are strange games.
And I don't think Brandon Cooks played very well in the second half either.
He had 1,000 yards, though.
Yeah, but he was getting no separation.
They didn't
and
have
so
James
it
White.
Got put on
But also,
him.
Tom
the
Brady's
best
used to
argument
playing
about
12
Amendola.
games.
Right.
He played 12
Good.
games
Yeah,
last
yeah.
year. I'm sure he was very happy playing
Beat up a
12
lot.
games. And had he preferred, had
All
his
right, so,
preference, he would have played
is it-
12
yeah, but-
predictions,
yeah.
though. What Brady are we
me?
getting this weekend? Let's predict. Are we getting A game Brady, B
Yes.
game Brady, C game Brady?
Oh, we'll get an A game.
All
Brady.
A, baby.
Yeah.
I
All
think
straight
we're-
A because
I think we're getting it.
anytime he's gotten a little
got a
heat,
B under his
he has
bonnet.
responded
Right. And
over the
remember,
years.
Burkhead's back,
Yeah.
White's back, and Hogan's back. Those guys haven't played for weeks.
Right. And Titans' defensive line does not scare
Right.
him. He's not going to be spooked
So
out.
let's
Yeah.
have this conversation next week after watching Brady play, whether he's fallen off or 40 years old or not. Let's
He has a
We don't
bad
have the
game.
conversation
No, we're going to
about
have the
Jimmy G
conversation
at
about
all.
Jimmy G forever. All right, prediction time, boys. I got the Patriots 28, the Titans 16. Joe,
Oh, I like that number, but I'll go 31 to 10.
31-10,
30-13.
30-13. What's the spread? 14 points?
31-14.
Oh, so you got them covering.
Yeah, we got. You don't have them covering.
No,
The spread is 13.5, I think.
Oh, is
He
that
might
right?
have to
Not that I
revise.
know.
yeah, right, exactly. I may have to put some rubles on that. All right, we're going to go to the Celtics, and they're in London, and who really cares, right? I mean, if you told me they were playing the Sixers
totally
tomorrow,
agree.
if they're playing the Sixers, I probably would be fine in Philadelphia, too. I mean, it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have a matinee in the middle of the week instead of always a night game.
But they're not doing it for the United States audience.
No.
I would assume
know
that
why
the
they're doing
Londoners probably don't care that much, do they?
They're
getting
already
more games than we are now.
They're already established in Europe,
Yeah.
right? Like they've been in Europe since 1992, since the Barcelona games, right?
Yeah.
Where they're not in China, right? They're
Right.
dying to get in China. I don't get the London thing.
Yeah, I used to love it when they played in Hartford. That would be more interesting to me right now.
I'm trying to figure how that would be.
Do you remember?
Right.
They used to play in Hartford. Do you remember?
Yeah.
He wants her to play in York, Maine.
Oh, that would be very fun. Yeah, outside in Short Sands Beach. That would be awesome. All right, so Andrew Bogut is available. Now, Andrew Bogut, we've spoken about Andrew Bogut for a couple years, and every time he's available, we think he's going to the Celtics, and he doesn't.
It doesn't look like
It
it.
doesn't look like he's going again,
It
right?
doesn't look like it. I think the thing is that, in retrospect, they could have signed him in the offseason. They didn't,
Right.
right? They let the Lakers have him. So if they really wanted him, they would have signed him.
Because he's an injury-prone guy.
Do
but
they
it-
need him?
Well, they got Baines.
But I think
Yeah.
they do need him, right? Because you really need somebody, another guy, to diffuse
Give up
the
6
the
fouls.
Drummonds of the world, the big guys, the
Right.
Gortats
And
and stuff.
Baines doesn't do that?
Baines does that
He
for
runs
a limited,
out of fouls.
for a limited period of time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I could see them signing him for the minimum at some point in time, but they're not making a big play for him, I don't think.
Yeah, that's some surprise. All right, so boys, I asked you the question. If you could take one player right now, Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, who'd you take?
Oh, for me, it's no brainer. It's,
It's
Tatum.
It's
Tatum.
Tatum.
It's Tatum.
It's unbelievable, right? Is it Tatum?
Not only is it Tatum, Scott, but I was thinking the other day.
He's thinking McAvoy.
I was thinking the other day when you compared Tatum, and I said you were crazy.
Of course you did.
And I
They always
now,
do.
Now I see Tatum going strong to the hoop. He's not hitting them. but he's going strong. He's trying to be somebody.
One of the best 3-pointers in the league.
He just looks
Three-point
longer
shooters.
all of a sudden, doesn't he?
Well, I don't think, and Van Gundy said this the other night, his list height is 6'8". Van Gundy said, that man is not 6'8".
He
He's
plays
6'10".
way taller.
I think, I bet you if you measured
the
him,
year at 6'8", and
I
now
think
he's
if you
6'10".
measured him, he's close
right.
6'10",
It's
6'11".
quite possible, right?
Because he doesn't look like a 6'8"
No,
guy.
no.
When Jaylen Brown's listed at 6'7", Jason Tatum's more than an inch taller than Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown.
I do really like
And
Jaylen
got
Brown,
much
though.
longer
But
arms.
Jaylen Brown
He
seems to have a
alters
little
shots.
ADD in him.
I don't know. Jaylen Brown's
He's
really
pretty
good.
dynamic.
He's gonna be good.
He's really good. He's 20. He's 20.
But he has a lot
mature.
of,
Let
sometimes
him mature.
some lapses concentration-wise. Will you give me
think-
that?
By the way,
Yeah,
I
he's
think
20
Tatum,
years old.
By the way,
Yeah, but Tatum doesn't have
Tatum
those.
has lapses here and there. You do see him have lapses.
Defensively, sometimes he makes some
he has
mistakes.
lapses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brown's problem is his handle near the basket is bad. Like he gives up a lot of balls in the paint.
Close.
Right? Fumbles it off of his knee, can't quite. He doesn't have Tatum's closing speed.
Right. All right, so will you give that to me, that my crazy thought of Kevin Durant? Are you starting to come my way?
Starting.
Starting,
Yeah.
right? Are you starting to see it a little bit more and
halfway
more?
down that path.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're way. I couldn't even see you a couple.
We
of
haven't
weeks ago.
jumped down the
Yeah,
rabbit
right.
hole.
Just understand that my kidney hurts saying that. I can feel my kidney.
Oh
right
my
here.
God! And you'll give me credit when the credit's due.
No, not going to do that.
Again, I have to give myself my own credit.
You're really, really good at that, Scott. You don't need any help.
know, you're right.
Ask Adrian.
All right, so this controversy we have to talk about. We've never mentioned LeVar Ball on the show. That's Lonzo's
continue?
We're the
insane
we're the last
father.
show on earth that has
He's
never mentioned
insane,
LeVar Ball.
okay?
But he's making a ton of money for them over there in Lithuania.
Exactly, Joe. And he has this weird incestuous relationship with his children and ESPN.
Yeah.
And ESPN has gone down a road that, we all noticed it. We were all, disturbed by it. But NBA coaches the last couple of days
They've had it.
have gone postal, Joe.
Well, I think that's why
on
they
ESPN.
kicked him out. They kicked him out of the United States. They said, you better go over to Europe. Because when he was saying that about the Lakers coach, you can't be doing that.
But this is nothing that we've ever seen before.
No.
That the coaches have unified in trying to stop someone from speaking. Right?
Right.
And was it great defense of Luke Walton, or was it just they were just sick of it altogether?
Well, the fraternity of coaches, but
Yeah.
that's wasn't his place. And I think the Lakers were going to kick him out, not bar him from the arena.
Yeah.
It's Magic Johnson's nightmare.
Yeah, it's
right?
a big problem now. Like I didn't know whether it was going to blow up to this extent, but it's now a thing. It's a problem. Now you've got him criticizing Walton directly, saying he's lost the team.
You're right about ESPN because they're covering him over in Lithuania.
Yeah, but
They've got a guy. They've got
Yeah.
a camera team and a reporter
He's
there.
turning it into wrestling. The wrestling WWE.
Totally, it's a great point.
right, but he's
Bottom and Bailey.
But he has to have somebody to give him the vehicle,
Look,
and ESPN's driving that.
It's clearly driving clicks for ESPN. I mean, the only reason why ESPN keeps sticking this guy on their front page is that every time they stick him on the front page,
Everyone
people
clicks
click
on
on
it.
it.
So what do you guys think about the coaches speaking out, though? Do you think it was proper?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but their means of doing it was a little shaky, where they said, we're going to boycott media outlets that give LeVar Ball any
Platform.
airtime.
Yeah, right.
That's a slippery slope,
Yeah, you
because
can't-
now they can sit there and say, well, we're going to boycott media outlets that do such and such. You can't do that.
Who don't say good things about Steph
Yeah, you
Curry.
can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right. But ESPN is jumping the shark, right?
Yeah.
Is that official?
They're well over the shark.
Oh my. Yeah.
Well over the
And
shark.
that
The
was
Patriots article, LeVar. I mean, they're really going at it.
Yeah.
And,
It's
and
just
they don't
clickbait.
have to. Where's their competition?
Well, the problem is that the economics of their business is nosediving.
See, now, if you're not a sports fan, you don't have to pay for
Yeah.
ESPN anymore.
So people are dropping the cable. They just do Hulu or Amazon and stuff.
And they don't
they go
include
online for
ESPN if they're not a
highlights.
sports fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and grandmom, who doesn't watch ESPN, no longer has to pay $12 a month for the luxury of not watching it. And that's the problem. All right, boys, we're going to go to our beloved Red Sox. And just such stunning news this week. It just got me so excited. Stephen Wright, the worst millennial athlete of all time, boys, signed a one-year contract for $1.1 million so he can sit on his fat lard ass. How exciting Red Sox news.
He's a millennial athlete.
Oh, the
I thought
worst.
he was like 50.
Oh, he just looks like 50.
He's
Is it-
shaped like a 50-year-old.
Right? That's their big news for the week. Would you
That's,
even have
by the
announced
way-
that?
By the way, that's right up there with their big news for the year so far. I've been thinking
Yeah.
more and more about this, and this could be like Major League Baseball is so screwed right now.
They are.
They literally have missed an entire off season of hot stove and buzz. There has not been one other
Yeah.
than the trade of Stanton, which was a 2-day story.
Which didn't last long.
Nothing.
Right.
Nothing. And Scott Boras is holding that league hostage because he controls so many of these top players. And the result is it's out of everyone's consciousness.
Yeah, they had a pitcher that wanted to bat, and then that went away, you know?
Yeah, you can't get December 27th back PR-wise. You can't get
It's
December
over.
28th. These days are
It
done.
is over. And and Pete compared this. Pete said this last week. You compared it to the NFL offseason. You compared it to the NBA offseason. The NBA is a 12-month sport right now.
Yep.
They took 3 weeks off last summer. And during the 3 weeks, Kyrie got traded.
Right.
That was their
Yeah.
dead period.
People were talking Celtics all last summer. Every barbecue you went to, they were talking
Right.
Celtics, not Red
And
Sox.
everybody wanted to hear about Woj. What did Woj have
Right.
to
Yeah.
say next?
And,
right?
and
I mean,
that's across the country. And the NFL does it by they just keep arresting guys.
right,
Right?
exactly.
Like, so it's not for the right
Bad
reason.
news is fine with the NFL.
But the Major League Baseball, the second the World Series ended last year, it's like a dark period.
It's unbelievable.
But
Never
you know what,
before.
though,
And it
guys?
used to be the
Let's
hot
get real.
stove league.
Once pitches and catches report, it all.
It's all fine.
Yeah.
But you just missed all the excitement of the moment. Like, remember the hot
There's no excuse for it, is what you.
right? There's just no excuse. Change the rules.
Well, you're right.
Basically
Boris
say,
is holding everyone
basically
hostage.
Yep,
say
yep.
you got till January 5th. The end of the free agency period is January 15th or December 20th. Period. After then, you
Right.
can no longer sign free agents until the middle of February.
Yeah.
And just say we gotta get Thanksgiving back.
And winter meetings, I'm going to give you 3 tickets. Each time you do a trade, you have to give me a
Right.
ticket back, and you get to leave here. You have to have no tickets.
You've got to
You know?
force activity in Major League Baseball.
You
That's
have
just-
to.
That's why they have Theo playing the guitar at the Paradise.
Right, exactly.
Well, no
But
one
you know
wants
what?
to pay Boris's, 6 years for
Yeah.
JD Martinez at $30
That,
million.
He's
that'll make
holding-
things quiet.
Yeah.
Right, but I ask you boys, and they've been guilty of this before, collusion by the MLB owners?
Could be.
Right?
No, I think
'Cause it
Boris
smells
is
like
just
it, doesn't?
Boris is just asking for way too much for journeyman players.
Well, look, if you were
But
also
he's getting it though, Joe.
if you were
He was.
doing
he was. Now they
now.
say
the
no.
long-term projections about the health of that game, and you were an owner, you'd be careful about signing Eric Hosmer to 7 years and $250
Absolutely.
million.
And we're not.
However, I do think that Stephen Wright's going to have a bounce back year.
And we're
He's
not-
my guy this
Right,
year.
exactly.
I
That's
pick a
his
guy every
thinking.
year,
Yeah,
baby.
right. But you're not even talking about
He
rule
loves him
change.
some knuckleballers.
You're not even talking about rule changes, and that should be. I mean, if you want to, start, doing some productive things in Major League Baseball, you've got to speed that game
Yeah,
up.
the scuttlebutt is that Manfred will actually apply he can apply the pitch clock now, and he doesn't have to do anything with the players union.
Then he should announce it,
Well,
so someone notices.
Even if you look at the youth levels now, the kids aren't playing. It's too slow.
Yeah, there's no question.
Too slow for today's kid,
And no kid's going to watch a 4-hour game. All right, so the Bruins. I watched that Bruins-Penguins game, as I know all you guys.
Yeah.
It's like the 1970s Bruins, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was just
that
a
was
shootout,
crazy.
right?
I didn't see any fights in that game.
But I was looking for Espo and Haji and
Weren't
Pye.
you looking forward to the 3-on-3 though?
That was
Yeah,
amazing.
well, you knew the Bruins were screwed
Yeah.
in 3-on-3.
Yeah.
That against the
Too much
the Penguins.
skill.
Yeah, that's
Tuca's played so well lately, but hit a rough night. He had a rough night that night.
But they came back though, boy, and
Yeah.
They did.
and it was a strange game because they both had time in the other end.
But that was fun. That was fun hockey. That was
really was.
fun
That was
to
great.
watch.
they're fun to watch. They move the puck as a team really well.
I mean, I'm not saying they're must-watch TV right now, but I think
They're
if you're not
close.
watching the Bruins and they're on,
You're missing something.
you are missing something right now.
I'll tell you that fourth line is a lot of fun to watch.
I'll check them
Those
out.
guys go after it.
Two Providence guys.
And they have good young players.
Yeah.
Right. So, all right. So there you go, boys. That's the show for tonight. Want to thank, of course, the boys. Want to thank everyone behind the scenes. Of course, the lovely and talented Adrian and handsome Todd. Please check us out on our website at thegrandstandards.com and tune in again next Wednesday night at 6:30 for another edition of the Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman. Have a great and happy night. I'm Scott Kerman. Have a great and happy night. The elephants are in town.
Here comes the circus.